the stream apparently crashed, but like, because I've checked the YouTube and it says that it crashed. But for me, nothing happened on my end. I've been spectating this race the whole time, thinking that I have been commentating, when it crashed in like lap 6, and I haven't it crashed in lap 5, and I haven't realised until now. You might have not saw what happened. As the stream's back up now, and you'll be able to watch. You may not saw what happened. Pretty much, I jinxed what happened to Stevie. As in, I said we might see Villeneuve let Stevie pass the next corner. Stevie spins, and he's now down to P9. But as you saw, he just overtook Swistak for P8. As Zulf is in the DRS range of Bastian. Bastian nearly in the DRS range of James Sullivan. Zulf is right behind Bastian. I need to make sure that this is working. It is, because it keeps on coming up that people are watching. Good. Good. It's working. I'm happy. Oh, I'm so annoyed that I didn't notice that earlier. But I don't know how I would have noticed it. Lucky enough, I checked the YouTube stream to see the live comments. To then see that it wasn't going, so glad I did that. But we're back up now. Of course, you know you're watching the stream currently. Zulf still in the DRS. Bastian pushing to try get in the DRS range, but is not able to yet. I'm not going to count it out. As I'm trying to see, there's not really many fights going on. It's really Joe and Tronk for P6 and Zulf and Bastian for P2. But I think Joe overtook Tronk and now he's pulling away. So really it's only just these front two which we can watch fully right now. I don't know if we can watch anyone else, because not much else is really going on. As Nick Hill gets a 3-second time penalty. In P14 he is. Bastian! 3-second time penalty in Maggots and Beckett's. As Zulf has missed out on the arrester. But Bastian 3-second time penalty means he's out of the podium. As Tommy is able to keep up with the front drivers right now. As Joe is pitting early, he is going in a lap early to see if he can maybe do some sort of undercut. It could be possible. as Joe is coming out in nice fresh air in P13 behind Elliot Parker. So the question is, will... Oh, Tommy's in DRS actually. Give it a second. Zolf's dropping fast and Tommy's picking up the pace. Who's that gone? Oh, it's back off. Oh, this could be something. This could be like a virtual safety car or something. He's in the pits, I imagine, to retire. Bastian's came in as well, as Daniel does retire. Villeneuve is also in. Stevie is in too, as this would be like the lap. As the drivers will be going onto the hard tyres, as they all are. Question is, where's Joe going to be? Because of course, Joe pitted a lap early. Villeneuve was the leader of the people who have pitted. Joe's on past. But Joe was behind... No, Joe was ahead of them, wasn't he? Joe was ahead of them. Forget everything I was just saying. Yellows... Elliot? Nick Hill. Never mind, I'm sorry, I did not see. I think James Sullivan is on his in-lap because he is fully used his ERS, as he is. Zulf, I imagine, will be as well. Yes, he is. Tommy's continuing. I like this. I like someone going different. Trunk's in, Swistak's in, Milos is in, Suchel has to stay out because of Swistak. Branimir is staying out, and then of course we've got Bastian, who we're gonna watch because of course he was P2, but he pitted a lap earlier. So the question is, has he been able to undercut the drivers ahead? James Sullivan has came out the pits. It's a wrong pit lane exit. As here comes Bastian just ahead of Zulf. As he's kept it. Only though. There, accidentally. Sorry for that. Oh, Zulf's in the wall! Whoa! I just managed to catch that. Zulf has a really, really bad exit and he goes into the wall and it's down to P9. Maybe rear wing damage, maybe front wing damage, we don't know. Front wing damage doesn't look like it. And here's Tommy, 5-second penalty. Oh, it's also 3 seconds for the Branimir. So Tommy's got a 5-second time penalty coming into the pit lane here. You do not want this. This is definitely going to ruin his chances of scoring high points this weekend. As here comes round James Sullivan now. The question is, what is going to be the gap between him and Tommy? Tommy's actually quite far ahead. Tommy's overcut Bastian! What has happened here? If Bastian sends it, he's on the fresher tyres, he can't do so. The warmer tyres, I should say. But Tommy managed to overcut Bastian, which is so interesting. Can we mention as well here, Branimir staying out? I think he's trying to do medium soft. Which would be extraordinary if he could do that, potentially. As Elliot Parker is still to pit, and he's holding up Joe a lot right now, and Joe is definitely not happy. As Joe was slightly weaving there to try to tell Elliot, let me past. I can be friendly about this, or I can be the madman about this. As it's going to be madman about it, Elliot's going to try to defend the position. Maybe a switchback. Oh, Elliot has to slow down. He could have went into Joe there. Elliot, please be careful. Oh, it was close. Oh, it was really close. As Tommy against Bastian is another big fight to watch. Elliot gets a 3-second time penalty. As Joe has got past Elliot, of course, which we saw. Before Bastian trying to get the move on Branimir is letting Bastian pass, but also his teammate. Yes. Could have maybe helped his teammate more and defend off Bastian, but it is what it is. Branimir down into P4 probably will come out in and around the P10 or P11 spot if he was to pit, which he has to do soon. As Tommy's looking for the move now. This is just DRS and slipstream. That is no ERS used. And Tommy's up into P2. Time penalties. Tommy's a 5 seconds. So it's actually Bastian still in P2 right now. As Elliot Parker is in the pit lane. We're going to see where he's going to come out for really information on where potentially Branimir could come out, as he still needs to pit as he's on those old mediums. Elliot's on the hards with 10 laps to go. Interesting. He's going to be coming out in P13, so it could definitely be P12 or P11 for Branimir, so he has to get in now if he wants to try get into the points. He has to come in now. It's his only choice. As we need to take time to appreciate this drive from James, which we haven't fully appreciated yet. This has been unbelievable from James. He's actually going to take nearly every single... Actually, he will take every single point. Unless the fastest lap, which currently is Stevie's. So James will take home every single point except for fastest lap. That is including 8 points for the sprint race win, which, with my calculations, 1 for pole, 25 for the win, and 8 for the sprint race win, would be 34 points, which would be a very lovely amount of points for James, as he is fairly low in the standings. He isn't that high. He isn't currently what would some would say a championship contender, but he has been up there in every race this season. As James currently sits P11, he's outside of the top 10. That is just to prove how James can definitely be up there and challenge for race wins. I mean, he got second and pole position in Kota. and could potentially be taking. Well, he has took a win in the sprint race and could potentially take a win in the real race as well, including pole position, as Stevie has made the move on Tronc and Corpse for P6. Of course, Stevie having started last in the race, as Joe Hamster is past Branimir, as Branimir's got a puncture. Oh, mate, you have to get in now. He got a puncture just at the end of that corner there. Wow, wow, wow. So he has led the tyres to the limit, 16 laps. Technically 17 laps. It is 17 laps. But now I imagine it will be softs. Yes, it will be. I love this. Soft tyres for Branimir. And it looks like he will probably be coming out in P11, just behind Swistak, potentially just ahead of Nick Hill. It's actually going to be really close between these two. Oh, it's going to be really close. Nick Hill's ahead. So Branimir comes out P12, but on soft tyres, remember. Have to remember that. As Tommy PLR is in the DRS of James. Interesting. As Tommy takes Stevie's fastest lap. Interesting. He takes it by a tenth and a half. So now Tommy is going to take another point home this weekend. Would be 19 in the race. 1 for the fastest lap and 18 for second. Interesting stuff. Elliot Parker and Nick Hill fighting at the back for P12. Elliot has passed Nick Hill in 17 lap old mediums. That's someone spun. Swistak has spun in P10. And this is going to allow Amir to catch up. Hey, it could be points. I'm saying it could easily. Actually, it is going to be points potentially. Because Swistak's got 6 seconds. Branimir only has 3. Oh, Tommy's really close to James. We're going to see a move here. Tommy has saved the ERS. Are we going to see a different leader in the race for the first time? As Tommy's going to send it on the outside of James. James is going to have the inside line. And Tommy is passed. We're going to see a different leader in the race for the first time in the sprint race and the actual race. It's only taken 28 laps to see. James gone in the wall! And it's a safety car. I am speechless. I do not know what to say. James just loses the lead of the race and crashes at turn 18. It's hopes lost, memories forgotten for James. Potential first win in Ero is now being thrown away. LA gets a 5-second time penalty in the pit lane. And now everyone is coming onto the soft tyres. This will be interesting. Ooh, I don't know what to say. I'm still a bit shocked about that. To be honest, I'm still... it's interesting, to say the least. As Nick Hill, for some reason, has not pitted when he's on 19 lap old mediums. Nick, I'm sorry, but you know you've got to pit. It's interesting. Everyone at the front, I imagine, will be pitting. Joe is in, Stevie should go in. Yeah, Tronk, Zulf as well. Unless Zulf wants to take a risk. No, everyone's in. Okay, so we're going to see a whole grid on soft tyres except for S5 by the looks of things. Potentially even Nick Hill because it looks like he might not pit off of 19 lap old mediums. As they're all going to be coming out now. Oh! Tommy served his 5-second penalty! So now, Tommy is going to have a chance at winning this race. But we can't count out drivers behind who don't have penalties. This is horror for Bastian, though, with his 3-second time penalty. Elliot Parker's on 14 seconds of penalties. Elliot, I don't know how you do it, man. You're one of a kind. You're one of a kind, I swear. As we're getting a little bit of confirmation that James, who's just DNF'd from F5, is going over to race in F4 because, of course, F4 is live at 7 o'clock British times. So you could go over and tune in and watch Black Wolf and James in F4, but I would recommend and stay here for the finale of the race, or in other words, the start of the mayhem. You should stay here and watch it, as we're going to be in next lap. As I think it will be in. What is Nick Hill doing? I'm confused. Contact! Villeneuve 5-second time penalty for contact with Sitchell. I think one of them might have got a penalty as well. Yeah, Sitchell just got a 5-second as well. The Villeneuve's backed the grid up too much, and Villeneuve and Sitchell have made contact under the safety car. I was going to say the safety car will be in this lap, but Nick Hill has decided to box and go on to new softs. I swear, if this man uses ERS under the safety car, because he has done this before, my mind will go kaboggle. He is not, thankfully. But I don't think we're going to be in this lap. I think we're going to be going in lap 23, which means we're going to be left with 3 laps of racing. Potentially 4, if it does decide it wants to come in this lap. Tommy nearly just overtook in the safety car. You know what? Might actually be. It's going to be very, very late. Yeah, everyone start weaving now. This is going to be a super late safety car. I know how the game works. The safety car is going to call it right now. Watch. I know this game. The game can sometimes be so dumb. Watch. It's going to go right now. Wow, it's not. Okay. So, Nick Hill just caught up in time. But we're not going to be seeing... Sitchel's in the pit. Wait. Sucho got from wing damage from Villeneuve. Oh my days, it's devastation for Sucho, who's got front wing damage from Villeneuve and now has to pit, get it repaired, also serve the 5-second time penalty. Or we might not even going to be in this lap. As safety cars in this lap, we're going to be riding on board with Tommy. So Tommy PLR, safety car is in the pit lane, so he can go whenever he wants. Bastian is backing them up. But Tommy's going to take this to his advantage, and he's going to go now. Well, the gap is there between Bastian and him. And he's got a second gap. This is incredible. Bastian, I'm sorry, but you should not have waited that much behind. As Tronk gets a penalty, but now it's all down to Joe, who might be looking to try keep a streak going. He's won the last 2 races. He will definitely look to try and make it 3 in a row. As it's going to be side by side. Joe's going to send it on Bastian round. And they're still side by side. Round turn 7, I believe this is. Elliot Parker has spun. And they're still side by side. Bastian is just ahead. And Bastian keeps ahead. Something's happened back here, because there's a 5-second gap from Villeneuve to Zolf. What on earth has happened here? Who knows? But what we can see is we can see 4 drivers on the grid that don't have penalties right now. Which I don't understand how that's possible, how so many drivers have got penalties. Stevie on Joe. Joe gets the switch back! Please stick that. They're side by side into the last 3 corners. Joe looking for a switch back again. But can't get it done. There's going to be so many fastest laps flying, and it's going to be incredible. As we have 2 laps remaining. The time penalties, I don't know how the grid is going to go. But Bastian, by the looks of things, is going to have a secured P4. Yeah, right now Bastian will have a secure P4. That is yellow flags. That is Maverick? No, it's Elliot spun at the back again. Maverick's just fighting and losing positions. Oh, I've got the hiccups. I can't deal with this. Too much is happening. As Zolf is trying to look to maybe get past Trunk. This top 6, by the way, is like the top 6. Of course, it would have been nice for James to still be here, and we could have made it the top 7. But this top 6 is unbelievable, as in Bastian has been up there and won races. Stevie is Stevie. You know who he is. Joe has won the last 2 races. Trunk has won a race this season. Zolf is P1 in the standings but hasn't won a race. And then there's Tommy, who is still to win a race. As we're going to enter the final lap of the race. And Stevie's going to take the fastest lap. Stevie's hunting down Bastian. Of course, Stevie will get the position no matter what with the penalty. But he wants past, I think, on track. As this is going to be a chaotic last lap. Stevie using all of his battery. Joe saving. Bastian isn't able to use much more. And Tommy is 50% and he's pulling on Bastian. Ellie gets another time penalty. But this man right here, Tommy, it has been unbelievable today. You know, we've clearly saw the pace has been there for him. As he comes round Corpse, this is going to be... I mean, I don't want to jinx it, and I'm not going to do like the full finalised thing. Not Swiftstack, Suchel and Maverick fighting. But we've got to go back to Tommy PLR. We're going to see fighting behind between Stevie and Bastian, but we have to ride on board with Tommy PLR. He disconnected last race. He got fastest lap in Qatar. He got a podium pole and fastest lap in Canada. But it's going to be Tommy's first win in Ero. He's going to come round the last corner, and Tommy PLR is going to win in Britain. The Slovakian is going to win, and he takes the fastest lap. Stevie is up into P2. What an astonishing recovery drive from him. What a drive. Joe gets P3 and Bastian gets P4. And then we have Trunk in P5, Zolf P6, Villeneuve P7, Swisstack P8. I'm waiting for the penalties to finalise. We've got Milos in P9 and Suchel rounding up the points. We've then got Nick Hill P11, Esfeld P12, Maverick P13, and then Elliot and... Elliot and Branimir as Elliot came across the line reversing. But it is the Slovakian of Tommy PLR who wins in Britain and also takes the fastest lap of the race. Massive congrats to him. We see him standing in P14 in the standings. This is going to promote him. My guess would be somewhere around P10 or P11 would be my guess. But as we can see, this is the total points after today. We have Tommy taking home 26 points, a very good race from him. Joe taking home 22, a P2 in the sprint race and a P3 in the race means he's taking home 22 points. We then have Stevie taking home 18 points after starting last in the race. Last in the race, finishes P2 in the race. Astonishing drive from him. And then have Bastian with 5 points in the sprint and 12 points in the race will take home 17 points. And then have Zolf P3 in the sprint race with 6 points and gets 8 points in the race will take home 14. Trunk takes home 12. James Sullivan could have been taking home max points. But will only be taking home 9 points with a pole position point and a win in the sprint race. Then Villeneuve taking 7 points, Milos taking 5, Esford taking 4, Swistak taking 4, and Suchel taking 1. as I'm going to try get the race director quickly. Incidents, here we go for anyone who needs it. I'm going to go through it quite fast because there was a lot of warnings. Let me just do a bit of spam finger a little bit slower for anyone who needs that. Wow, wow, wow. What a race. That was unbelievable. Very, very nice. Very, very nice race. As that has been all from us today in F5. I'm going to advise you to go over and watch F4, which is happening right now. I imagine they're into the sprint race, potentially just ending quali, because I think they started 10 or 15 minutes late. So they're going to be near the end of quali. So definitely go over and watch that currently. You can tune in next week for the Belgian Grand Prix. We are away to Spa, some people's favourite track on the calendar. But yeah, this has been very, very fun today. I've been Cameron Don. Thank you for everyone watching today, and we will see you next week for the Belgian Grand Prix at the same time, Friday, 6 p.m. GMT.